Zohran Mamdani elected mayor of New York City. A new era for America's largest city. New York City has entered a new political chapter with the election of Zohran Mamdani as its mayor. A moment that is being called historic not just for the city, but for American politics as a whole. At just 34 years old, Mamdani is the youngest person in more than a century to hold the office, and he becomes the city's first Muslim and first South Asian mayor. His victory signals a dramatic shift in New York's political landscape, reflecting the growing power of grassroots movements, younger voters, and working-class communities demanding systemic change. Zohran Mamdani's rise has been anything but conventional. Born to Ugandan Indian parents and raised in Kampala and later in New York, he built his reputation as a community organizer long before entering politics. Before becoming mayor, Mamdani served as a New York State Assembly member representing Astoria, Queens. He was known for his progressive ideas, passion for social justice, and close work with everyday New Yorkers. From tenants fighting rent hikes to taxi drivers burdened by crushing debt. His experiences on the ground shaped his core belief that government should serve ordinary people, not corporate interests. When Mamdani announced his run for mayor in late 2024, few in the political establishment took him seriously. New York's mayoral race has always been dominated by well-funded candidates with deep ties to the city's political machine. But Mamdani's campaign rewrote the rules. His message, that housing, transportation, and public services should be treated as human rights, resonated across the city. He promised bold changes: rent freezes for working families, free city buses, expansion of affordable housing, universal childcare, and city-run grocery stores to combat food insecurity. His campaign slogan, "A City for All of Us," became a rallying cry for thousands who felt left behind by rising costs and political stagnation. The 2025 election season was one of the most contentious in recent memory. Mamdani's main rival was former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who attempted a political comeback with promises of steady leadership. The two clashed over nearly every issue. Cuomo advocating a return to traditional economic growth policies, while Mamdani called for radical reform to make the city more equitable. Polls leading up to the Democratic primary were tight, with Cuomo holding a small lead in early surveys. Yet Mamdani's campaign built unstoppable momentum, driven by volunteers, small donor funding, and a vast network of local organizers who canvassed door-to-door across all 5 boroughs. On June 24th, 2025, history was made. Mamdani defeated Cuomo in the Democratic primary under New York's ranked choice voting system, winning 56% of the final vote. The result sent shockwaves through the political world. What had begun as a grassroots movement had toppled one of the state's most powerful political figures. His victory speech that night captured the spirit of his campaign. Tonight, New York proved that our city's future belongs to the people who build it, not the billionaires who buy it. Following the primary, the general election became a nationwide focal point. Cuomo refused to concede the stage and launched an independent campaign, while Republicans rallied behind Curtis Sliwa. Despite the high-profile opposition and millions spent to stop him, Mamdani's coalition continued to grow, uniting working-class voters, young activists, immigrants, and progressive Democrats who wanted a new direction for the city. His campaign events felt more like community gatherings than political rallies, filled with energy, art, and stories from everyday New Yorkers. On November 4th, 2025, the results confirmed what many had come to expect. Zohran Mamdani was elected the 111th mayor of New York City. Streets in parts of Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx erupted in celebration. For many, it wasn't just about electing a new mayor. It was about reclaiming hope in the political process. International headlines described his victory as a stunning rise and a political revolution in America's largest city.
Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is the period over the next...
Mamdani's win represents more than personal triumph. It marks a broader shift in American urban politics. For decades, New York City has been a global hub of finance and culture, but also one of the most unequal places in the country. Rising rents, stagnant wages, and a deepening gap between rich and poor have left millions struggling to stay afloat. Mamdani's policies aim to challenge that imbalance, to make housing affordable, expand access to public transit, and invest in social services that support working families. However, many observers note that his biggest challenge lies ahead, turning campaign promises into actionable policy within a city known for its complex bureaucracy and powerful business interests. Wall Street and corporate groups have expressed concern over Mamdani's proposed tax reforms and rent controls, warning that they could drive investment out of the city. But his supporters argue that the city cannot thrive if its residents are priced out of their own neighborhoods. "You can't build a world-class city on poverty wages," Mamdani said in a post-election interview. "Our strength lies in our people, the workers, artists, immigrants, and dreamers who make New York what it is." Political analysts see his victory as part of a growing movement reshaping the Democratic Party, similar to the momentum behind leaders like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other progressives pushing for economic and social reform. Whether Mamdani's administration can deliver on his promises will determine if this new political model can succeed in America's most complex city. As he prepares to take office in January 2026, all eyes are on City Hall. Supporters are hopeful, opponents are cautious, and millions of New Yorkers are waiting to see whether the city can truly become a place for everyone. What's certain is that Zohran Mamdani's election has already changed the story of New York, and perhaps